with reporters spanning the country, Canada's most trusted voice on career counseling, career education, career development, and research. This is CERIC News. And now here's Robert Tremblay with today's top stories.
As we look across this country, we see an increase in the number of our Aboriginal youth that are playing an increasingly important leadership role in their communities. Conversely, we also see high unemployment rates and deep pockets of poverty in many Aboriginal regions. We sent our news crew out to gather comments and opinions.
I think that the education system for Aboriginal people, first of all, is really far more complex than people understand, because it's too easy to say, all Aboriginal kids need this kind of support, because we're not all the same. The truth is that we've got all sorts of rural-based schools. We've got kids coming out of that kind of isolation, coming and living in urban environments, and they're dealing with all sorts of painful issues. So they need a different kind of support system. But then you've got Aboriginal kids that were raised in the city. We're called, the urban Indians. I'm sort of considered one of them. And we need a different type of support system.
Malaspina University College takes the education of Aboriginal learners very seriously. It's embedded in our beliefs and our mission and goals. It's part of the provincial government's mandate that Aboriginal students have better access to school. And Malaspina has a really good reputation of helping Aboriginal learners maintain their own cultural diversity.
I ended up here at Malaspina as a result of not being happy with the direction my life was in. So I decided to use education as a tool to better myself and become, more productive and happy. Up until 2006, I had a grade 9 education, and now I'm about to complete my second successful year as a university student for a BA program.
One of the projects I'm really excited about that's coming this year is an extension of our Aboriginal University Bridging Certificate Program, where we have students, young Aboriginal students from their reserve, from their home villages, from any province. We have someone from the territories that have applied, and they come here for the first 2 weeks of their education in August, and they become a cohesive group. We call it Pathways to Education, so they become oriented to Malaspina. What do we have here? How do you be a good student? What does your culture mean to you? How can you bring your culture into your learning? They can maintain their culture close to their heart so that they can go home to their communities to bring whatever education they have and change their communities.
So we need to invest more in those communities. I think that the Aboriginal community is very proud, and rightly so. And the approach one takes in that community, from my perspective, is that train the trainer, is building capacity in their own communities to help people help themselves. And the Aboriginal community seems to be ready and eager to do that. And it's up to the rest of the system to learn how to effectively work with them to help them meet their objectives in their terms, things that are appropriate for their culture.
Malaspina has helped me get my life back on track, and it's given me the opportunity to know that I can do things and I can accomplish things I set my mind to, and given me the opportunity to meet new students and know that I'm wanted in the community and I'm useful to the community and what I have to give back and what the community has for me.
I think the real point about Aboriginal education is sort of understanding that these kids, Aboriginal people, Aboriginal youth we can be both. We can be all of it. I'm an Aboriginal woman. I work in the television industry, and I still take huge amounts of pride in my identity, my culture, my traditions. So one should never cancel out the other. We can be all of it. We can have it all.
Another demographic challenge that our news crew uncovered is the shortage of skilled professionals in this country. There's an increasing need to develop strategies and programs to help immigrants find skilled jobs and maximize their abilities. Studies show that 35% of immigrants feel their foreign work experience is not acceptable in Canada. We have more on that story from this report.
First of all, we need more and more immigrants to integrate in Quebec because of those manpower shortages. But it's not as simple as having them come here and then work. We have to integrate them. We have to help them have their competencies recognized here and then adapt to our work market. That is something guidance counselor can do more and more.
Over 50% of the people that we see at JVS are newcomers or immigrants to this country, and the newcomers have a tremendous amount to bring in terms of human capital, and by 2012 all net new jobs will be filled by newcomers to this country, many of them highly educated, internationally trained professionals. So we have some challenges to overcome in our Canadian society with respect to credentialing, but we also need to develop bridging programs to help people transfer their skills.
There is a new course here at the University of Quebec at Montreal. It's called Multicultural Career Counseling. It's new because of the influx of immigrants that is becoming so much of an issue here. Immigrants need jobs. And the problem that happens is that immigrants have difficulties having their competencies recognized. There has to be equivalencies done. And this concerns guidance counselors. What's unique about this course is that immigrants are using UQAM to learn French. And so the Department of Languages is sending us immigrants so that my students can accompany them through the integration process, meaning that they can help them find jobs, to choose their new programs at school, or to choose a career that they want to exert here in Quebec.
I took the mentorship because of first, I was touched by the Western culture here, which is totally different from Chinese one. And I want to change my life value from the traditional Chinese one to a more open Western lifestyle to help or mentor others to realize my self-life value.
Mentoring programs, job search programs that are specifically targeted to help newcomers to transition into the workplace. We see far too many well-educated, capable people working in low-level jobs. The cliche is taxis and pizza delivery, but really very, very valuable. I have a wonderful example of a young doctor from Cuba who came to see me last week, who had 14 years of experience in Cuba, 7 as a professor at the university, and is here in Canada trying to requalify, will likely qualify as a nurse rather than a doctor because it's too onerous. But in the meantime, she's cleaning restaurants in the evening to support her children.